welcome back if you watched the first video. If not, that's okay. This is the second video, and probably slightly more important than the last one, since the last one was more of a get to know you. You were getting to know how the Jolt Up website works. It is the parent to the Jolt Lite mobile app that you can use on your smartphones, tablets, those kinds of smaller devices. This one is going to be specifically digging into the shift trades, so the shift swaps is what they call them, and then as well as the shift, you can call them a shift drop. In here it calls it a release shift. So we'll go a little more into that and how that works, and what that looks like, as much as I can show. There's some things that are a little harder to show since I can't do a full pickup necessarily with this. So just want to let you know and keep you in the loop with that. I may come back in and edit and show how that works with some help, because it's going to require some coordination with one of the PSSs. So depending on if I have time to do that, I will try and do that before I actually post this video. And if it's in here, then you know that I fixed it. In the meantime, I'm just going to show you what I can show you, and then when it comes to the parts that I can't show you, I'm just going to describe that to you so you understand what's happening on the back end. So anyway, let's go ahead and hop in. Sorry, I'm not used to this screen recording software thing. It's a little different than the last one that I used. So anyway, so again, this is what happens when you log into the Jolt Up website. And it always takes you to this screen. I have not found another way to have it go to something different. So if someone else has figured that out, awesome, share it. In the meantime, it's totally okay. There's not anything here that isn't made available to other people, so I'm totally cool with it. So again, if you didn't watch the first video, that's okay. I'm just gonna go over real quickly how to get and navigate. So you have this bar to the left hand side that I'm not touching yet. It's the gray bar. So when I go into that on my computer, I'm pretty sure most computers will do this, it opens up this little column and it says Jolt, has these different options. The ones that we essentially are using right now are scheduling and settings, and more so the settings on your mobile app, because in here, this page that I'm on right now basically is my settings. So like you can even show you if I hit settings, it says profile. So there's nothing else extra to click here, so I'm already on that page. So I'm just gonna close that back out. So again, we're just going to go more deeply into our scheduling, how that stuff works. So in the computer version, you have to hit the scheduling, and then it brings you to the three other options that we use. Well, rather, these two that we will be using for sure. So shifts is the one that we're going to be in at this video. In the next video, we'll go over availability. This is where you will be putting in your time as far as what you would like to work. So that's where you get to request your work schedule. So anyway, we're going to go into shifts now. Alright, and it takes a little bit for this one to load up, partially because I have a slightly older computer, and partially because probably my computer it was almost dead. So I apologize for the sluggishness there for a moment. Okay, so you can see here that we are currently in what they call trade shifts, and you can see the word pickup here. Pickup means that you're going to be willing to pick up a shift from somebody. So for example, you can see Matt and Emmy have shifts posted for Friday. So let's just say that I go to Matt's here. Now you can see the details. It's a 3.5-hour shift, working the jewel box stage at J4, or as we know it to be curtain 4. What time I'm expected to be clocked in. 6:30 is your clock in time, so if you need to put some sort of a reminder ahead of time like I do. see that that cancel out, there's text message. I don't know if the push works on the computer or not. So anyway, so that's how you would go and pick up a shift that someone has posted, or if there is an open shift that is listed, then that is how you would go and pick that up. You would do the same. You'd go in, you'd hit request pickup, and then you would wait till it gets approved. And then again, we're going to go over a little more how that works on the back end with an example in a moment. So this is kind of your gold mine to pick up extra shifts. Now, if you need to do something a little different, like, hey, I want to actually swap with this person, that's where you want to go to a different column. So we move from the trade shifts, that's this one here, over to the little person. And that little person is you, because it's my shifts and I'm logged into me. So again, just to familiarize ourselves with this screen, it's showing the dates for this week. So the 5th was Monday and the 11th is Sunday. Obviously, we know we don't have any shifts that happen on Sunday. So basically that just doesn't show here, partially because I don't have anything scheduled for it and partially because we don't schedule anything for it. So you can see how many hours I'm projected to work. You can see if I have any pending trades. And we'll get into that in just a second. And then you can also see, of course, the current week. And it will always highlight the current day with, I think it's the blue type on both the mobile app as well as the computer here. So it tells you what your shifts are, what hours you're expected to work, what position you're working. So all good information. And then what we'll be getting into here in a second is how we go about swapping a shift or releasing a shift. So, and I apologize, my computer forgot I programmed it in this browser to change my name. So my name usually it says Chris Curtis and it says Toferzard. Yeah, that was a long time ago. Anyway, you can see that it's telling me how many hours I'm projected to work, my shift time, the date, and then what I'm supposed to be doing as on my shift rather. So you can see request release here, and you can see request swap here. So kind of like what we were seeing on the first tab in the trade shifts, those are releases. That's a request release that someone put in, and they're just hoping that someone will pick up. Now, the thing that you want to make sure that you do is not just post it in here. And here's why. Nobody lives in this app. I guarantee you there's not a single person out there that just sits in this app all day long and says, oh look, there's a shift to pick up. So utilize your resources. Call people. There's actually a call list, which I'll go back to as well on this video, that lists everybody that is working for the theater, so you can call people. Use the Facebook pages that we have. There's a volunteer one and there's also a paid usher one. So utilize those resources. I will highly recommend that you call people, because sometimes you can Facebook message someone and it can take forever for them to answer. The same thing can happen with a text message. So I would utilize all of those resources: calling, texting, Facebook. Use all of your resources to try and cover stuff, especially when you really need it and you're in a dire situation. We have the resources and tools here, so don't forget about those. So anyway, if I wanted to release this schedule, for example, for tomorrow, I would simply click Request Release. Now here's an important factor to show you. This question was brought up. So see, no one is offered to take the shift. If I go back to my shifts, and you can see now I have a pending trade, and it has a little marker on it, and it says I'm doing a release request, and you can tell that by the little icon. So it's a little E, I guess is the best way to put it. And then there's also something to note. You won't see your own shifts that you've released in the trade shifts, because obviously you're not going to pick it back up from yourself from here. If you go back to my shifts and you go back to the one that you posted, you just hit the cancel button. And that is the same on both the mobile app and on the computer version. So just keep that in mind. They aren't different. They work the same. So then we saw how easy that was to release a shift because, again, there's no strings attached. You're just putting it out there saying, hey, I can't work this. Can someone pick it up? Okay, so again, so that was really easy to do a release request. So now if I wanted to swap a shift, this means that you are specifically switching with someone else. So you're going to see why that's important to know here. When you hit request swap, it then moves you to this screen. And it tells you, okay, what's today? Today is the 7th of March. And it will immediately pull you up into today's list to swap. So the shift that I was looking to switch is, I believe, for tomorrow. So I'm going to close this, and I'm going to go to Thursday. All right. And let's just say I'm going to trade with... who do I want to trade with? Let's say that I'm going to trade with Lizzie. Okay. So I'm going to select her, and then it gives you this confirmation window. Are you sure you want to swap shifts with Lizzie Nuttall's shift from 6:15 to 10 p.m.? If I say yes, which I'm going to really quick, and then I'm going to cancel this, then it says a swap request and awaiting acceptance. I'm going to hit cancel because I don't want to switch that. Anyway, that's how you would do that. Now, here's the parts that you can't see on the back end in one degree or another. So behind the scenes, there's notifications going between, in this case, between myself and Lizzie if we were going to do that shift swap. If she says yes, then it will notify me that they are saying yes. So then I would then, at that point, if I remember correctly, it will then ask me to confirm that after she's confirmed it. So once it's confirmed, then on the back end, a supervisor like Ashley would go in and say, oh, looks like someone has a shift they want to trade and they've already got it all approved through on their side, so I can say yes as long as it's a good matchup. Now, keep in mind, that's why you can only see certain people on your schedules, because we don't want to volunteer to accidentally trade with a manager in doing a request swap. So that's a big reason why that you cannot see everybody to an extent unless they've found a way to get around that. So just keep that in mind. And then the request release is kind of similar. It's a little different though. You put the release out. You can have more than one person in that case say, hey, I'm interested. You get to choose in that case. So if there's more than one person that says, I want to take that, I want to take that, I want to take that, then you can select which one and approve it. And then it has to be approved on the back end again by a supervisor like Ashley. So keep that in mind, that there are some steps. I would recommend in that situation that once you have confirmation for either type of shift release or shift swap, that you contact the supervisor on staff. So call the box office, ask for the supervisor. I don't remember what the direct supervisor line is. I'll try to get that and put it with this video. Call them and say, hey, I have a shift trade pending and it's been approved by both sides. Can you go ahead and post it through? They can go in and look at it and then post it through. Now, I know that Ashley has access. I know that Whitney has access. I do not know if Teresa has access, and I don't know if Chrissy has access. So just keep that in mind. Your best choice is to try and, once you get that information and it's been approved through up to that point, contact them. That's going to be the quickest way to get it approved through and have it all taken care of. So pretty simple, right? Like it seems like a lot of steps, and if you put it on paper, it looks like a lot of steps. The simplicity of it, though, is click a button. I've released this. Someone else picks it up. Okay, great. I approve. And then they hit yes. So it's not that much different than what we were doing before. It's just now all electronic. So it's just understanding how that works. Now, of course, emergency situations are going to play in, and that's going to be by ear. So if you have an emergency type situation, then always, always, always reach out at least to the box office or to Judy in the case of being a volunteer. To let them know, hey, I'm so sorry, I'm sick. Like, I'm sick to the point that if I come in, I'm contagious. People are going to get sick. We don't want that. So keep that in mind on how that can play in. But yeah, pretty simple on how to do that stuff there. Now I'm going to show you this last tab again. This is the all shifts. So this shows the whole week. And it opens up the current day that we're on to let you know who's working. Again, this is going to be based off your visibility options. So managers typically will have more visibility. Paid ushers will have visibility to paid ushers, and volunteer staff will have visibility to the volunteer staff. I know that they were trying to make something available so that everybody could see everybody. I do not know if they fixed that or not, because I've just had this almost since the beginning, so I don't know anything different right now. You can see, though, that each of these have a little arrow to the left of the date, so you can actually go in, you can close this one out and open up Thursday if you want and look and see who's scheduled. Again, with your visibility options. So just keep that stuff in mind. This is a good place to start if you're looking to swap. If you're not sure and you just want to look and see, hey, maybe someone would be thoughtful. So it's funny, Lizzie just messaged me because I put that post on there. Oh, she's gonna see this video and just have a little laugh. Anyway, and then I said that we were gonna go back to the settings, and then we're also gonna try and go back to one other thing to show you the contact list, since that's gonna be applicable to this. So as you can see here, I've got my email, my phone number. I'm getting notifications through my push notifications. You can see that here. You can also see that there's text notifications and email notifications. So again, you can use all three. You can use two. You must use one. They require you to use one. So make sure you have one active. And if you're going to choose that one to be active, be aware and just be mindful that that means that you're going to get notified of changes, of updates through those methods. So just keep that in mind. I know it can kind of get annoying when like a bunch of open shifts are posted. That's for your benefit. So just take it as, oh, they're just letting me know there's an open shift. Cool. I can't take it. That's okay. That's quite all right. So, and then let's go to, let's see. I have to find out where they have people. If they have people on this version. They might not have people on the computer version. I'm not finding it yet. That doesn't mean it's not here. So bear with me for a moment. In case there's to-do lists, which we aren't using the lists yet. That's training. That wasn't under scheduling. So it's looking like, this is good to know, it's looking like we might not have the people option like you do on the mobile app. The mobile app has a thing called People, where you can actually see a contact list. It has phone numbers that you can text, that you can call. You can, I think it even has email in there, depending on what you have. So it's looking like in this case that the People option is not in here. That's actually really good to know. I will speak with Ashley about that, since she's kind of the procurer of the app information, and see what can be done, because we need to make sure that everybody has access to that information, because I don't know where else the People is we're gonna just poke around here for a second, because if I can find it, that would be fantastic. Okay. It really is looking like the people is not in here, so I will certainly talk to Ashley and find out what we can do about that, because that's not a good thing. Alright, so this is going to be the end of this video. This again is focusing on specifically the shift trades, so the swap shifts, as well as the as well as the release requests, so the release shifts. Thanks again for watching and putting up with my goofy humor and my weirdness. I'm just weird, and that's okay. I'm alright with that, and I hope you are too. So, anyway, okay. I will see you in the next video, I hope. Bye!